Think about something you've bought recently for personal use. Chances are you probably bought it from Amazon, right? And you did so because you have Amazon Prime set up, you could get it quickly, you're not quote unquote paying for shipping. Well, as a B2B organization, should you consider stocking and selling your products on Amazon? Well, today's guest is going to make a case of why you should consider Amazon as another distribution channel for your products. And works particularly well for a certain price point and a certain size. So we'll get into buyer behavior, why they go online, what works well, and even get into some of the tips and tricks for being found on Amazon. Let's do this.
Welcome to Content Marketing Engineered, your source for building trust and generating demand with technical content. Here is your host, Wendy Covey.
Hi, and welcome to Content Marketing Engineered. On each episode, I'll break down an industry trend, challenge, or best practice in reaching technical audiences. You'll meet colleagues, friends, and clients of mine who will stop by to share their stories. And I hope that you leave each episode feeling inspired and ready to take action. Before we jump in, I'd like to give a brief shout out to my agency, True Marketing. True is a full-service agency located in beautiful Austin, Texas, serving highly technical companies. For more information, visit truemarketing.com. And now, on with our podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Content Marketing Engineered. I'm joined today by Will Churland. He's the co-founder of GOAT Consulting. Welcome to the show, Will.
Thanks for having me.
GOAT, is that like we're the greatest consultants ever? Is that where GOAT came from?
It came out of necessity just because we're signing clients too fast. We just need to come up with a name. If people want to associate us with the greatest of all time, I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, why not? Just own it, right?
Exactly.
Good. Well, today we're going to be focused on Amazon of all things, which people may think is a little bit odd for a B2B, sometimes B2B2B sale. But in talking to you about this, I think it's very relevant for this audience, and can't wait to get into details. I have a battery of questions for you. But before we dive into all of that, I would love to hear a little bit about your background and what led you to starting your business.
Yeah. So my family emigrated over here to the United States at the very beginning of the 20th century. And my great grandpa started manufacturing furnaces out of Minnesota in about 1936. And from there, started getting into all sorts of heating and ventilation products, all sorts of HVAC accessories, and ran the business successfully for 70 odd years. Fast forward to me graduating college in 2013. I had some experience importing stuff from, say, China, flipping it online through Amazon and eBay. My brother had been doing that since about 2006-ish. And so we had some background in selling direct to customers. And when we both started working at the family business and realized that when a product gets manufactured for, say, $50 and there's 6 different people who touch the product by the time it gets to an end customer for $500, we knew that inherently there was some sort of value lost along that chain. And so that's what kind of got us into the idea of, okay, there's all these kind of undiscovered niches in these products that take more than 7 sentences to explain what they even do. Maybe we should see which of these sell well on Amazon and kind of what qualifies even a good selling product on Amazon. And let's go through some of these catalogs and see if this can work.
Okay, so it was at first a bit of an experiment, and also, just capitalizing on let me be the distributor, but let me leverage an existing community out there on Amazon, right? Instead of building your own, which takes a lot of time and a big investment, right?
Exactly. Nowadays, there's all this different third-party software where I can just look up exactly how much sales revenue every product does. And I could do this in a lot more systemized way. But we were doing it more from the point of view of looking at an equivalent of like a Uline catalog, looking up that part number. If it had more than like 100 reviews, then people must be buying it. And that was basically our only form of forecasting in the beginning.
A proxy,
Yeah.
right. Okay. So I know that since then you've branched out and helped other industrial manufacturing companies sell on Amazon. I mean, why Amazon? Why not just set up e-commerce on their own websites?
Yeah. So as we became more successful, got more press, more people started asking, how can you do that for us? And so that's how my business I run now, almost 9 years ago, Goat Consulting was started. And from there, it was kind of just an easy transition for a lot of companies. Though Shopify has gained in prevalence over the last few years, for a lot of these companies that have never sold direct before and never really marketed direct before, the idea of setting up an e-commerce store, setting up a different third party's inventory management that matches up with their current EDI that then connects it to the Shopify store, and then having to hire someone to do like social media marketing to find your website, to do SEO for your website, do any sort of like custom programming to make sure that the shopping cart like Shopify is set up for your situation and sizing of your products and such. It's a lot bigger deal than the $40 a month for Amazon, where Amazon has figured out a lot of the problems. They figured out the demand issue and they already have a lot of customers on their platform. They figured out fulfillment. They figured out how to position products in different categories and such. And so it just solves a lot of those things that may give you like analysis paralysis and allows you to dip your toe in the water like as quickly and as risk-free as possible so that you can maybe see, hey, things are going great on Amazon. Maybe we should have a Shopify store.
Yeah. I think also when I consider B2B buyers also as humans, and I think about my own behavior, I go to Amazon a lot, right? Because I get things fast. I pay for Prime, so shipping's free, quote unquote. We all know how that works. But I can imagine to some degree people expect to find certain products on Amazon. Not always, but that's something that companies should know whether or not people go to Amazon to seek their products.
Yeah, nothing bothers a prospective client more than when I start typing in, say, their part number into the search bar in Amazon, and Amazon does like an autocomplete, and they're not offering their product yet on Amazon. So it's just showing that there's customers have been searching your exact model number over and over again, and then there's been no product to offer them. It's very unfortunate, and I see it the same way as almost just with like Google ranking. Is that like if people are searching your specific product, you almost have that customer like sold. If you put anything in front of your customer to make it that much more difficult, it can really be detrimental to your business. To the point of a quick example is that when my brother and I were experimenting, one of the things we did is bought these sunglasses that they were selling at Snapchat.com that had cameras in them. They're selling them for about $150 on their website, and they're selling for about $250 on Amazon. And so I'm buying 7 at a time from Snapchat and then just sending them into Amazon's warehouse, making a quick $50 a piece. And it's a really good example of exactly how much customers are willing to pay to not type in their credit card information, to know that it's going to be shipped within 2 days. The premium some people will pay is astronomical. And so then when you're thinking of these different products that might be sold in a company like Northern Tool or Grainger, where time sensitivity is everything, being on a platform that can ship stuff same day is extremely, extremely important. And then if you think about the next generation too, of asking the average person who's under 30, where can I get something next to same day? Out of 1,000, the amount that may say Grainger would be very low.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So shifting behavior as purchasing moves to younger generations. Okay. You mentioned something a minute ago. I want to circle back. So Amazon has analytics where someone who doesn't even do this yet can go in and see if their products are being searched. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, so this is just me going to the normal search bar in Amazon.com and searching the different part numbers live on a Zoom call with like a prospective client and saying, hey, what are your best sellers? And as I start typing in BYZ, it auto completes itself. And so it's saying, hey, this has been searched dozens of times on Amazon's search engine. There's no product to offer the customer who does search this, and it's auto completing their search. So it's like saying, like,
it knows
hey,
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it knows it's there. And so that's very upsetting to a lot of our prospective clients because they go, wow, There's been all these clients who've been looking for a product. They search it, can't find it. Then where do they go from there? And more times than not, they don't go to the manufacturer's website and then go to their click list of distributors and then go and fill out a contact form on one of those distributor sites. These like 4 different layers of resistance is kind of what I was talking about with like the Snapchat story, is one more chance for the customer to say, hey, actually, I'm not going to buy this part today.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you brought up distributors, because there's probably a number of people listening that are saying, I don't know. It sounds cool, Will, but I already have a relationship set up with one or several distribution companies, and I don't want to make them mad. I want to keep in good graces. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I would say for a lot of manufacturers and a lot of people who are kind of the beginning of the chain, you are the one who created the value in the world, not the distributor. They are kind of just another middleman in the chain. And so how do you get it so that they do add value to you, right? And so you can say to the distributor, hey, we want to give you the authorized rights to be the only seller on Amazon. But along with that, we are going to expect you to do a good job being a good steward of our catalog, making sure things are merchandised right, making sure that the sizing on the products is right, the dimensions are right, that you have the right PDFs and literature attached so that customers really know what's going on. We are giving you this golden goose of all this Amazon traffic, and you get to capitalize on all of it. Just please provide value on your end, because if you're not keeping our stuff on a shelf, telling customers about our product, selling it to customers, letting them touch it and feel it, you're not really providing the value like you used to in your territory as a Amazon reseller, since anyone can kind of just jump on there. And so that's one way to kind of keep your distributor involved, is to just make them the authorized kind of like Amazon's their territory or channel. Another way is through Amazon's affiliate program, where you can give up to about 8.5% of the retail price of the product back to whoever sent the traffic through their specific link. And so that's a way where you can have your contractors out in the field with like an iPad preloaded with their affiliate account on it, saying, okay, yep, you're going to need 4 different of these circuit boards. You're going to need these wires. You're going to need this, this, and this. Here's the entire cart. We're actually going to get it shipped directly to you. So that allows you to not have to have warehouse space, inventory, tying up cash. Go straight to the customer's house. You still get a cut of the payment along the way, and everyone's happy.
And the flip side could be true too, right? A distributor could go to their manufacturers that they rep and offer this as an extension for manufacturers that aren't on Amazon, and proactively say, I'll set it up for you, and this will be an extension of my services. I think that's a nice pitch, huh?
100%. And sometimes we do have manufacturers who come to us saying, hey, we want you to merchandise our catalog on Amazon, make sure everything looks pretty. You may have to work with this distributor of ours to make sure you have the right access and stuff. And that's where I'm always, from my point of view, I say, hey, make the distributor pay our retainer, not you. Like, they're the one who are going to benefit from these sales directly and such, and they're getting kind of a free ride. Like, at least figure out some sort of like, you guys split it half and half or something like that, because you guys are working together on a team. You guys are both going to benefit from the work we do.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what products are best suited for, and specifically B2B products, right? There's a lot of people say that have manufacturing components. So think valves and ball bearings. Then you have more sophisticated components like electronic components, timing switches, relays, maybe even some design elements, targeted design engineers. So when you think about that chain of all these materials that could go on Amazon, what have you seen be successful?
Yeah, it's a combination of figuring out kind of like the 80-20 of their catalog, and what are those 20% are just going to sell well because they will just most likely translate. Then on top of that, the minimum fees you pay to Amazon for a product is around $5 to $7, depending on the size. And so selling anything that is under, say, $20-ish retail can be really hard, because Amazon will take up a lot of your fees. And so that's where you might want to like kit or package your products in different ways. So it's more of like a $50, $60 retail price opposed to say a $20 retail price. And then on top of that too, products that are not too expensive, like you said, not too specialized, where people are going to have a lot of like quality assurance or customer service questions. And then also anything that has at least none of the sides are over like 17 inches. that's when you start getting into like the next like fee of like oversized stuff. And so if all the three sides of the box are under 17 inches, it's under 50 pounds, and it's over $20 retail, we're starting to get in those kind of concentric Venn diagrams of like the perfect product to sell on Amazon.
That was funny. I was about to say, I feel a diagram coming on, and you beat me to it. Okay, so like, yeah, $100,000 test equipment, system wouldn't be really a good candidate, right? Because yeah, for the
Exactly.
reasons.
But like there's a random valve that may go out that's $240 that people just need next day no matter what, or else they're going to lose $1 million worth of manufacturing for the next week capacity. Then yeah, that's like a perfect product to sell on there.
Okay. So I don't want to get too in the weeds on this, but I think it would be interesting just in passing because it's primarily marketers and salespeople that listen. But inventory is a big deal, right? So when you work with the distributor is buying your inventory and holding that. And when you work with Amazon, how does that work?
Yeah, so you can send each individual order to each individual customer as they order it, but then your product will not show up as Prime on Amazon. And Prime is why everyone's there for the most part. So if you see a product that's not Prime, more times than not, it's very, very small and it's not worth sending to Amazon, then sending to the customer because you can just send it like USPS for $2.12. Or it's very, very large and it's not worth sending a hot tub into Amazon's warehouse, then sending it back to the customer who is already in Minnesota type of thing. And so those are the main reasons not to, but for the most part, almost everyone should be sending their inventory into Amazon's warehouse. And the way that works is you say, Amazon, I want to send in 1,000 of widget A. Amazon will say, that's great. Send 300 to New York, 400 to Texas, and 300 to LA to kind of spread your inventory throughout the US. From there, you package up the pallets, 300, 400, 400 units, slap the labels that they give you on the outside of it, and Amazon will have an LTL pick it up, most likely later that day or the next day after that. About 3 or so days later, you'll see your stuff in Amazon's backend in stock at Amazon. And it'll have one in stock number. It won't say the different warehouses. It'll just say you have 1,000 units in stock. And then from there, now that you're in stock, your products show up as Prime. So it guarantees to the customer that you will now get same day or next day shipping. And this is one of the big breakthroughs that my brother and I had, is that we realized with a lot of these products, it's one thing for us to just throw a bunch of products on Amazon, order it once a customer orders it from us, and just have like a 2-week lead time. But we realized that that's not what the Amazon customer is there for. They want stuff very, very fast. And so we found a big advantage. And even though there'd be other people selling the exact same product as us, we would be the only one that was Prime eligible because we were the only ones who were spending cash and actually stocking at Amazon's warehouse. And it would make a unit that we were selling maybe one a day go to selling 10 units a day because people wanted it that much more.
And it's funny, but again, thinking about our behavior as consumers, even if I don't need it the next day, I still want that Prime next to it. Even if I wait till my delivery day or whatever, there's something about that expectation, right? That it's going to be there. It's from a reputable company. And it seems
the tracking is going to be good too. You'll be able to keep track of it the whole way and all that kind of stuff too. And
yeah.
I've noticed that more and more if I've ordered on websites that aren't Amazon. It's like, man, in between me ordering it and getting it, there's kind of just a black box of I don't really know what's going on, where they do almost like a Domino's Pizza Hut type like pizza meter showing you exactly where your product is and it's being picked now and now it's on its way to your house and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It does build trust with customers for sure.
Okay, so for those listening that are on Amazon, what are some tips you have, tips and tricks for getting found, being recommended? Are you spending money to be bumped up and be recommended, or are you doing things in a more, authentic, organic way?
We're definitely doing both. There was about like $58 billion last year spent on Amazon advertising. So it's becoming a bigger and bigger channel, especially as they get more video stuff. But some quick tips and tricks is that the title of your product is the most heavily indexed in the search engine. So make sure you not only get like your part number in the title, but what the like generic name is for the product. Then also getting your brand name in there. And then also maybe getting something like a layman would call it too, all within the same title. And then also making sure that you get about 500-ish characters in each bullet point. Again, do not waste your time too much just listing specs there. Specs are not probably something someone's going to search. They're not going to search to see if it's 121 psi. And so that's something you can put later down in the description, where you can actually have almost like a PDF that actually explains all the stuff, because that's going to be like a large image, and that large image isn't going to be read as well from Amazon's bots to rank you in the algorithm. They're going to read the text first. And so really making sure you put searchable keywords in those spots, where people on Amazon, opposed to Google, do not search best big screen TV. That's like a Google search where someone's doing research. They're going to search more specific things, and so figuring out the specific search terms that someone's actually going to buy, and then inserting those throughout your title, throughout your bullet points, so that you rank for those keywords. And then also ranking for those keywords, customer buys your product, it sends a positive signal to Amazon saying, hey, next time someone searches that keyword, put that product in front of the customer again. It makes customers happy. And then it becomes kind of a snowball rolling down the hill of the algorithm, getting rewarded over and over again as you sell items, as you make customers happy.
Okay. Are reviews important?
Reviews are very important. They do get to a point where they don't matter as much, where like if someone has 500 reviews and someone has 800 reviews, customers are kind of agnostic at a certain point. But if someone has 0 and someone has 10, it can make all the difference, especially with higher ticket price products, where it's really hard to buy a hot tub that's $1,500 that has 0 reviews. You just don't have any idea what's going to show up, type of thing. And so reviews are still very important. But recently they've been getting rid of the number of reviews more and more, and just showing you an average, and then having AI go through the reviews and kind of giving you like bullet points of what all 10,000 reviews said. And I find that as a welcome example, a welcome change from the point of view of, you don't want one iPhone charger to get 2 million reviews and be the only iPhone charger ever seen ever on their marketplace. You want it to kind of be a fresh marketplace with new entrants. And so I'm happy that they're kind of getting rid of the number count and saying, hey, who just has the best quality?
Yeah. And even the AI summaries, I know there was a few that went awry that got passed around when it first launched. But the nice part is when you have like one outlier, you kind of, you can disregard the two ends and get just the average sentiment about a product.
Yeah, and everyone says it's too small, and it's like, well, my last one was too big, so perfect. And sometimes it can actually be a little bit helpful that it's everyone's swaying one way or another.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if there are marketers listening and your company is set up on Amazon, are there any, special links or promotions or things that marketing people can use outside of Amazon to drive traffic to Amazon?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do it. They do have like an influencer program, which is probably not relevant to a lot of people listening to this, but there is just the Amazon affiliate program is the best way to do it, is to then from your website write different blog posts and that would be helpful to the customers and linking back to your products and such, and different educational things of, hey, here's all the parts I used to install this, or hey, I created this overnight for this side project. Here's everything I bought that I use to create this and such. And so that's kind of the best way for companies like yours to send traffic to it. Also, we found some success in the past. We have a lot of some are really old but have like millions of views, install videos that we created on YouTube on how to install different products and such, and then linking them below and all that. And so that when you search the product in Google, it's the Amazon listing shows up first, then it's like the YouTube listing, and then it's like our own e-commerce website. And then we've kind of taken over this whole category of this product that for the most part people don't try too hard in internet marketing.
But the videos are hosted in YouTube. They're not embedded within the Amazon page, or both?
Both.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Both. So on YouTube to get that traffic and then link it back to Amazon description and stuff, and then vice versa. Now we have video content that we can upload and use it even if we wanted to, and like video ads throughout Amazon too.
Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely purchased products based on watching those videos ahead of time. It was something novel or new or whatever. So yeah, I think that's great advice. All right. Well, any parting thoughts for our listeners?
I would say that It's worth a discussion regardless. Amazon has some place in your business one way or another. If it's a way for you to liquidate last year's models, if it's a way for you to sell more consumer products, or if it's a way for you to even rebrand some of your products more consumer based and kind of having that separate from your B2B based customers. There's kind of a path forward we've seen with almost every type of manufacturer we've dealt with. And so, yeah, if anybody wants to discuss how they can pivot their company onto Amazon or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to discuss how Amazon may be able to work for you.
Awesome. Well, how can people reach you?
Will@goatconsulting.com is my email. GOAT consulting.com is our website. You can fill out a contact form there, learn more about us. But besides that, there is actually a large case study on my family's manufacturing business and how we help transition their B2B company to be a little bit more consumer friendly. And so definitely, if you want to learn more about that, there's more content on that.
Great. Well, thanks so much for coming on today, Will.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining me today on Content Marketing Engineered. For show notes, including links to resources, visit truemarketing.com/podcast. While there, you can subscribe to our blog and our e-newsletter and order a copy of my book, Content Marketing Engineered. Also, I would love your reviews on this podcast. So please, when you get a chance, subscribe and leave me your review on your favorite podcast subscription platform. Thanks and have a great day.